Do you feel like even when you're exhausted, your body doesn't relax when you lie down? Maybe it's not your day, but rather the energy in your home. What if what's stealing your peace isn't the stress of work or the worries of your routine, but something you can't see, and that's in every room around you? Your home should be a refuge, a space that recharges your mind and body. But what if, without realizing it, your home is charged, absorbing emotions, tensions, and invisible noises that accumulate throughout the day? The truth is that the energy of your environment has a direct impact on your well-being. Every object, every color, every forgotten corner of your home carries a vibration. And these vibrations don't disappear just because you turn off the lights. Quite the opposite. During the night, when everything is silent, these energies become more intense. Maybe you've felt it, a subtle discomfort, a heaviness in the air, an insomnia that insists on returning, even when your body is tired. This is no coincidence. It's a sign that your home is trying to tell you something. You may be sleeping in a charged field without knowing it. And no, it's not an exaggeration. Science has already proven that the environment directly influences our emotional state. Excessive visual stimuli, disorganization, lack of natural light, all of these interfere with the functioning of the mind. But there is something beyond logic and psychology, something more subtle, deeper, something that most people ignore until they feel completely drained. The invisible energy of the house, the one that is impregnated in the walls, objects, furniture, the one that echoes old arguments, recurring thoughts, unresolved feelings. Have you ever stopped to think about how many emotions are trapped inside a space that has never been purified? How many times have you cleaned the floor, organized the living room, but forgotten to take care of the atmosphere that surrounds it all? A house can seem clean and yet be spiritually polluted. And this silent pollution is one of the most common and most overlooked reasons for lack of sleep, chronic fatigue, and the constant feeling of heaviness that many people carry without explanation. In this video, you will learn how a simple nighttime ritual can change everything. But not just any ritual, one that goes beyond aesthetics and organization. A ritual that acts directly on purifying the environment and providing emotional relief. That uses natural elements such as lavender, rosemary, and incense to transform your home into a light, clean, and protective space. A true refuge, because when the environment changes, the mind responds. And a balanced mind is born in a balanced space. But before we reveal how you can apply this ritual today, you need to understand why the energy in your home may be sabotaging your rest, and what exactly is contributing to this invisible accumulation that, little by little, is affecting your sleep, your mood, and even your daily motivation. The answer may lie in details you never noticed, and that's what we're going to uncover now. Your home should be the place where your mind finally finds rest. But if, when you go to bed, your heart is still racing, your head is full, and your body is restless, perhaps the problem isn't in your day, but in the energy of the environment that surrounds you. What if your home, instead of recharging your peace, is absorbing the tensions of the outside world and returning it to you every night? If you feel like you wake up tired, that your sleep isn't deep, or that even the silence of the night seems heavy, breathe. You are not alone. Many people live with this feeling without knowing how to explain it. They organize the space, turn off the lights, but still can't relax. The truth is that this emotional exhaustion often doesn't originate in the body, but in the place where it rests. The energy of your home directly influences your ability to rest, think clearly, and maintain a healthy balanced mind. And when this energy is charged, everything around you weighs down. Your disposition, your mood, your mental health. The good news? There is a simple and affordable way to start transforming this today. In this video, I'm going to show you a night purification ritual that goes far beyond aesthetics or organization. It is a conscious, emotional, and spiritual process that cleanses the energy of your home, helps you sleep better, and transform your space into a real haven of peace. Everything in a practical, intuitive, and deeply restorative way. This practice is for those who feel like their house is full, for those who wake up more tired than when they went to bed, and for those who urgently need to find emotional balance within their own home. The impact of this goes far beyond the night. You will notice your productivity increasing, your mind feeling lighter, your mood more stable. It is not just a ritual, it is self-care in the form of an environment. It is energetic protection. It is connecting with your spirituality and with your home. What you are about to discover can completely change your relationship with your space, your rest, and your inner energy. Each step of the ritual that I will show you below has a purpose, and together, they form a powerful tool for your emotional and energetic healing. So, take a deep breath, focus here with me, and stay until the end. What comes next can transform your home and your life. During the day, as you live, think, worry, and face the challenges of your routine, your home absorbs everything you emanate, every tense conversation, every racing thought, every unresolved feeling leaves a subtle mark on the environment. And as these marks accumulate, the energy of the space changes. What should be a refuge begins to become a reflection of tiredness. The air seems denser, the silence less comforting, peace more distant. This is why the nighttime ritual is so necessary. It is more than just a simple end-of-day habit. It is a rediscovery of balance, a conscious pause to transform the energy of the environment and restore your own vibration. Environmental psychology has already confirmed that the space around you directly influences your thoughts, emotions, and even your decisions. A disorganized room, a room with too many objects, harsh lighting, or even too much visual stimulation create internal noise. Your mind notices it, even if you don't consciously realize it. And when this scenario repeats itself for days, weeks, or months, the emotional impact intensifies. Anxiety increases, focus decreases, and sleep quality plummets. None of this happens by chance. Everything you feel has a source, and often, that source is in the walls that surround you. Feng Shui, an ancient practice that studies the flow of energy in environments, has always taught that the home is an extension of the body, and just as the body needs rest, baths, and daily care, the home also requires energetic attention. Ignoring this is like letting stagnant water accumulate. Little by little, it becomes heavy. And this is reflected in the way you wake up, how you feel when you enter the house, and even in your disposition to face the next day. The nighttime ritual serves exactly this purpose: to activate the circulation of energy, dissolve invisible tensions, and prepare the environment to welcome a new cycle. Every night, a new chance for regeneration. This moment of connection doesn't require anything complex. Its beauty lies precisely in its simplicity. It's about turning off the excess, silencing the external world, and returning your senses to the essential. Using a candle, lighting incense, and sprinkling lavender or rosemary in the corners of your home is not just a symbolic gesture. It's an act of presence, an invitation for your home to enter a state of rest as well. And when your environment rests, your mind also finds a space to reorganize itself. The impact is real. The quality of your sleep improves, your sense of security intensifies, and waking up becomes lighter, clearer, and more lucid. This process is not something mystical or distant. It is completely applicable to your routine. Science has already studied the effects of sensory environments on the nervous system. Aromas such as lavender reduce levels of cortisol, a hormone linked to stress. Soft sounds help regulate the heart rate. Warm, indirect lights stimulate the production of melatonin, the sleep hormone. All of this is part of the ritual. Every choice you make in preparing your space communicates something to your brain. And when this communication is done with intention, the result is immediate. A home that works in your favor, that protects your rest, that supports your well-being. Spirituality, in many traditions, recognizes the home as a living field. Home is not just the place where you sleep, it is where you heal, where your emotions rest, where your energy is renewed. Ancestral cultures already knew this. In many of them, the end of the day has always been accompanied by spiritual cleansing practices, even if simple. A glass of water with salt, a prayer at the bedside, burning herbs as a way of expelling what is no longer useful, not out of superstition, but out of wisdom. Because just as the body is purified by bathing, the environment also needs to be cleansed so that you can live there with more lightness. And this is even more important in today's world. Today, we live connected all the time. Screens, notifications, and worries follow us from the street to the pillow. Your brain doesn't turn itself off. It needs signals, and your nighttime ritual is the signal it understands. When you organize a small space, turn off bright lights, turn on a light aroma. When you breathe consciously inside your home, your body receives a message. It's time to slow down. It's time to take care of yourself. It's time to come back to center. The environment responds. The mind calms down. The heart slows down. This is the true power of a ritual, transforming repetition into intention, and transforming intention into real change. Because at the end of a whole day of absorbing stimuli and tensions, what you need is not more stimulation. It is reconnection. And this reconnection begins with the space that surrounds you. You deserve to sleep in an environment that welcomes you, not in a space filled with invisible, pending issues. You deserve to feel that. When you close your eyes, you are protected, clean, at peace. And this does not depend on major renovations or drastic changes. It depends only on a ritual, on a moment when you look at your home as if you were looking at yourself and decide that it is time to clean, to breathe, to purify. The energy of your environment can be your most powerful ally or your biggest silent obstacle, and each night is a new opportunity to choose what you want to nourish in your home. There is a huge difference between falling asleep surrounded by internal noise and resting surrounded by an environment that was prepared with intention. This difference translates into quality of life, mental clarity, and emotional balance. And it all starts with a gesture, a step, a practice that invites peace to enter. Your home is ready to receive this transformation, and so are your body, mind, and soul. Because the next step of this ritual will reveal exactly how each detail can become a tool for healing, protection, and well-being. And when you understand what to do with these elements, everything around you will begin to respond. Because energy, when moved with awareness, transforms everything it touches. And that is what we are going to talk about now. This is where everything starts to make sense. Now that you've realized how the energy in your home directly influences your well-being, your sleep, and even your emotional state, it's even clearer how essential it is to bring awareness to this time of day. Your nighttime ritual isn't just a nice detail in your routine. It's what separates the accumulation of stress from a true state of restoration. So, in the next few minutes, you'll discover which specific elements have the power to transform your space into a healing, welcoming refuge that prepares you for the deep rest your body so desperately needs. Every detail matters. And now is the time to dive into this process. Stay with me, because the next part of the video will show you, step by step, how to activate this transformation in the environment you live in. And since we are all moving forward together through this important change, this is the perfect time for you to be part of a community that is also seeking a home with more meaning, more lightness, and more awareness. You have already started to see your home in a new way, and this is just the first step of many. The next videos will show you how to keep this energy clean, how to strengthen your connection with your space, and how to transform every corner of your home into an ally for your emotional health. So subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because what comes next will continue to guide you on this journey of reconnecting with your home and yourself. This movement has already begun, and you are part of it. Preparing the space is the moment when the ritual begins to take shape, life, and energy. It is when the environment begins to respond to your gestures and your intention. Each detail chosen here has a clear function: to guide your mind to rest, to communicate to your body that the hustle and bustle of the day is behind you, and to allow your home to transform into a true haven of regeneration. The process is simple, accessible, and deeply transformative. The light, the sound, the air, the aromas, all of these elements speak directly to your senses, and so they need to be organized with presence and awareness. It is at this moment that you take control of the energy of the environment, and little by little, it begins to align with what you want to feel. It all starts with lighting. The intense white light used throughout the day to maintain focus and alertness gives way to warm, soft yellow light. This transition signals to the brain that the activity cycle is over. Yellow light relaxes the nervous system, slows down thoughts, and invites the body to enter a state of rest. A candle lit in the corner of a room goes beyond aesthetics. The living flame has a hypnotic effect that calms, focuses, and cleanses. Since ancient times, fire has been used as a symbol of purification, and this symbolism remains alive in our senses. the glow of the flame, the soft dance of the light, the silence that sets in when it becomes the only source of illumination, create an enveloping, welcoming, and safe atmosphere. Along with light, air also needs to circulate. Opening a window for a few minutes, even at night, creates a sense of renewal. Stagnant air carries particles, smells, and sensations that accumulate throughout the day. When it is changed, something immediately changes in the vibration of the house. Breathing becomes lighter, the mind clearer. The breeze that enters brings with it new energy. This simple gesture already begins the subtle cleansing process, and everything within the space begins to reorganize itself to get into the rhythm of the night. This is the basis for creating an environment that respects your need to disconnect, rest, and restore. Another essential point is sound. Absolute silence can be uncomfortable when the mind is still agitated. That's why creating ambient sound is essential. Natural sounds such as running water, gentle wind, rustling leaves, or even the sound of Tibetan bowls promote deep and immediate relaxation. These sounds reduce brain activity in areas associated with worry and stress. Rhythmic, soft, and continuous sounds help the brain to leave the state of vigilance and enter slower brain waves, linked to rest and meditation. Having a background sound chosen with intention is like building a bridge between the body and sleep. The entire house enters the rhythm of slowing down, as if it were lulling you to rest. Aromas complete this scenario. Lavender and rosemary are two powerful allies. Lavender is known for its calming effect on the nervous system. Its delicate scent induces relaxation, reduces anxiety, and helps regulate sleep. Rosemary, in addition to being a purifier, strengthens the feeling of presence and elevation. Both act on deep levels, cleaning the air and adjusting the vibrational field of the environment. Spraying a natural spray made with these herbs or using an aroma diffuser completely transforms the atmosphere of the room. It is not about perfuming the space, but about activating sensory memories of peace, tranquility, and care. The right aroma is not only pleasing, it is healing. Temperature also needs to be considered. The body responds directly to the thermal sensation of the environment. A cooler room stimulates the natural production of melatonin and promotes deeper sleep. An excessively hot or stuffy space generates discomfort and agitation. Adjusting the temperature, wearing light and comfortable clothes, preparing the body to feel cozy, all of this is part of the same symphony. The environment adapts to your rhythm. The body understands this care, and the mind gets in tune. When you combine soft light, fresh air, balanced sound, purifying aroma, and comfortable temperature, you create a complete sensory experience. And that is exactly what your home needs at night. A space that speaks to your senses in a harmonious way, that guides your nervous system to a state of deep rest, that says with subtle gestures, here you are, safe, welcomed, and free to rest. All this happens when you prepare the space with intention. The environment, which previously absorbed noise and tension, begins to emit calm, internal organization, and emotional balance. And the more you repeat this process, the more it becomes natural. The nightly ritual becomes a habit, and the habit becomes an energetic field of protection and well-being. Your home begins to work with you, not against you. It becomes a silent but present ally every night. And over time, you will notice that this transformation doesn't just happen in the room where you sleep. It spreads. It reaches other rooms, other areas of your life, other ways of inhabiting the world. And it all starts the moment you prepare the space. This preparation is not a technical step. It is the beginning of communication with the invisible, of connection with that which sustains your mind, your body, and your emotional field. It is in this carefully constructed setting that the ritual will take place. And the next steps will show you how each element can become a portal for reconnecting with your inner peace. Because a truly welcoming home is one that vibrates at the same frequency as you wish to live. And that is exactly what we will continue talking about next. You felt your body slow down. Your breathing became lighter, your mind more present. The environment began to respond to your intention. This means that the process is already underway. As the house begins to vibrate more calmly, the interior also reorganizes. This is a clear sign that the space is becoming what it is meant to be, a refuge, to solidify this transformation and shape the energy you are building. Comment fluidity. This word represents exactly what is happening. The harmony between you and your surroundings. the gentle circulation of energy, the connection between what you feel and what your home transmits. By registering this word, you activate a symbol of change. A word with intention has power, and when shared, this energy spreads, inspires, and strengthens. Fluidity is what your home begins to emit from now on, and what you begin to experience from the inside out. The moment of ritual is the heart of this entire practice. It is when your presence becomes action, and your intention begins to take shape in the space. Everything that has been prepared up to this point, the soft light, the delicate aroma in the air, the sound that lulls you, the freshness that circulates, is ready to receive the symbolic power of the gestures. Each step of the ritual is more than a sequence of tasks. It is an energetic declaration, an active choice for purification and well-being. The ritual does not require perfection. It requires presence. And when you perform each step with awareness, the effect is profound. You transform the space around you, and at the same time, you transform yourself. The first step in this step-by-step guide is energy cleansing with a subtle element, such as incense or essential oil. Choosing a good quality incense with a natural composition and purifying properties already starts the process off firmly. The light, smoke from the incense travels through the room and acts as a cleansing vehicle. It touches the corners, travels through the air, and dissolves what is no longer useful. The aroma spreads, and with it, a vibration of presence is installed. The same happens with essential oils. Using a diffuser with lavender, rosemary, or white sage oil creates an olfactory field of protection and purification. The aroma activates sensory memories and communicates to the brain that the space is being cared for, treated, and respected. The energy of the room understands this gesture, and the house begins to reorganize itself based on it. As the space begins to respond, sound acts as a supporting element. Soft music, with a frequency between 402 Hz and 528 Hz, or even traditional mantras of cleansing and balancing, help to stabilize the vibration. Music acts directly on brainwaves, leading the body to a state of deep relaxation. It also works on the subtle levels of the environment, harmonizing what was still dense or dispersed. Each note becomes an invisible thread that sews the energy of the space, bringing unity and lightness. Mantras, such as Om Mani Padme Hum or other sacred chants, cleanse through repetition and vibrational sound. Even when listened to at a low volume, their action is constant. The house begins to vibrate at a different frequency, and this frequency resonates within you. With the sound filling the room, it is time to verbalize the intention. Words have power, and when spoken firmly, they anchor the energy that you want to install. A simple phrase, such as, "I free this space of all energy that does not belong to me," has a profound impact. It is not just a spiritual affirmation, it is an energetic command. It declares that the space is being reorganized, that what is heavy is already being released, that only what nourishes, welcomes, and sustains remains. The verbalization of this intention must be done with a clear voice, with presence, with determination. Speaking out loud transforms the invisible into concrete action, and each word spoken mixes with the air, the light, the aroma, becoming part of the space. The environment listens and responds. After the speech, the touch of the essence. Using a spray bottle, spray lavender or rosemary in the corners of the house. This is the moment of subtle activation. The corners of the walls, often forgotten in everyday life, are points of energy accumulation. By spraying these places, you invite lightness to occupy what was previously stagnant. The movement of the spray spreads the aroma, but it also spreads the intention. Lavender calms, dissolves, welcomes. Rosemary purifies, strengthens, protects. Together, they create a field of living, clean, and stable energy. Each corner receives a touch of presence. Each spray is a gesture of care, and this care transforms into atmosphere. The house begins to emanate what you chose: peace, order, security. Each step of the ritual is symbolic, but also practical. Incense is not just a scent, it is a cleansing flow. Music is not just sound, it is a harmonizing frequency. A phrase is not just a voice, it is an energetic command. The spray is not just an aroma, it is a presence that touches the space. When these elements come together, the vibrational field of the house is completely reorganized. You are not just cleaning a space. You are refining its energy. You are shaping the invisible with conscious gestures. And these gestures have weight. They have impact. They have truth. By repeating this ritual frequently, the home begins to create a new vibrational identity. Rooms that previously accumulated emotional noise begin to sustain inner silence. Spaces that reflected tension begin to restore clarity. It is a daily construction, an ongoing process, a living practice. The ritual is the meeting point between you and your space. And in this encounter, everything begins to heal. The home becomes a clean mirror of your peace, a faithful reflection of what you want to feel. And the ritual becomes a link between the visible and the subtle, between the external and the internal, between the physical and the emotional. And now that each step has been carried out with presence and intention, the environment is ready to support the next moment of this experience, an even deeper, more sensitive moment, where the focus is no longer just on the space around you and begins to turn directly inward. Because when the house becomes silent, it is your inner voice that begins to be heard. And it is in this silence full of meaning that true rest begins to emerge. The energy of your space has already begun to respond. The atmosphere is lighter, clearer, more yours. Every gesture, every aroma, every sound, and every word resonated not only in the environment, but also within you. The ritual was not just symbolic. It has already brought about a real reorganization. And now, this same space that once carried the weight of routine is transformed into a portal of well-being, balance, and presence. Feeling this transformation is the first sign that the path has been successfully activated. And when something so real begins to happen, it deserves to be shared. Liking this video is like lighting another candle in this collective ritual of awareness. It is a silent gesture that helps this message reach more homes, more people who, like you, are ready to transform not only the environment they live in, but the way they live in it. Your home has already felt it. Your body has already responded. And your touch here is part of this expansion. The most intimate moment of this entire process has arrived. The environment has already been prepared, purified, and filled with clear intentions. The house has responded to your gestures, your choices, and your presence. Now, it is time to deeply tune into this new energy that pulses around you. The moment of inner connection is where everything aligns. The mind slows down, the body relaxes, the energy field expands. It is the point at which the ritual turns inward, revealing what is most subtle, that which vibrates between thoughts, that which is felt even in silence. In this moment, everything you need is here. The soft light, the aroma that anchors, the sound that lulls, the air that circulates, the atmosphere that sustains. Sit comfortably in the space you have chosen. Keep your spine straight, but not rigid. Allow your shoulders to drop, and the muscles in your face to soften. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, with presence, feeling the air enter your nostrils and gently fill your lungs. As you exhale, feel the weight of the day melting away. Once again, breathe in calmly, notice the movement of your body, and as you exhale, let go of any remaining tension. Your home is already calm. Now it is your turn to align yourself with this calm. Conscious breathing is the thread that connects the external to the internal, and each deep breath is an anchor that brings you to the present. With your eyes closed and your mind focused, mentally visualize a clear light appearing in the center of the room where you are. This light is soft but intense. It pulses with a frequency of peace, balance, and protection. Little by little, this light begins to expand. It touches the floor, the walls, and the furniture. Everything it touches begins to glow with a lighter vibration. Imagine this light slowly moving through every corner of the house. It enters the hallway, reaches the other rooms. It passes through the bedroom, the living room, and the kitchen. Each space is filled with this luminous presence. The energy that once seemed heavy now dissolves, giving way to a clearer, cleaner atmosphere. Visualize this light entering each room like a calm river that purifies everything it passes through. The objects, the memories, the emotions embedded in the walls. Everything is transformed by the touch of this light. It removes excess, silences noise, dissolves tensions that were hidden in the details. At the same time, this light fills the spaces with softness. It carries strength and delicacy, like a breeze that cleanses and restores, and as it travels through the spaces, it leaves behind a trail of serenity. The rooms gain new life, the air vibrates at a different frequency, the entire house breathes more fluidly. Now, bring this light inside you. Visualize it touching your body, from head to toe. It envelops your skin, enters your pores, fills your organs, cleanses your thoughts. Every part of your being is touched by this same frequency that previously ran through your home. Your mind begins to quiet down. Your heart slows down. The light envelops the center of your chest, expanding like a vibrational field and transforming your internal state. The sensation is of total acceptance, as if you were being embraced by something bigger, broader, more sacred. This light that now pulsates inside you is the same one that you activated in the environment. It is your home's energetic response to the care it has received. This moment is more than a pause. It is a portal, a space to reconnect with your essence, a moment of deep listening, where presence becomes complete and every detail takes on meaning. The stillness of the environment reflects a stillness that now also exists within you. Thoughts lose their strength, time slows down, perception expands. The house has become a temple, the body has become a home. The energy you have moved is already acting, reorganizing, aligning. Continue breathing deeply. Allow this state to persist for a few moments. With each inhale, feel the stability of the space you have created with your hands and your intention. With each exhale, feel the relief of surrendering to this peace. This is no ordinary rest. It is a deep, true rest that does not depend only on the silence around you, but on the vibration you have cultivated. What was once just an environment has now become a reflection of your inner harmony. And this reflection begins to influence everything around you, your way of thinking, acting, feeling, because the environment and the body form a single frequency, and when it aligns, everything transforms. This visualization creates a vibrational anchor that remains even after the ritual is over. It reorganizes the way you perceive your home. It transforms the space into an ally. It allows each night to become a cycle of healing. The simple act of breathing with presence, of imagining the light cleansing and filling, is capable of completely reorganizing your energy field. This practice becomes a support point in your routine, a return to center, a reminder that the sacred begins in the space you inhabit. And it is precisely in this cleaner, lighter, more conscious vibration that we take the next step, because the ritual still holds more layers, more possibilities for deepening, more ways of integration between you and your home. And what comes now is an even deeper invitation for anchoring, for conscious closure, for total surrender to rest. The house has already been activated. Your body is already receptive. And what comes next closes this cycle with the presence of those who truly choose to live with intention. You have already felt the power that exists when the house becomes silent, and the energy aligns with yours. Each gesture, each breath, each visualization has already begun to redesign the field around you. And this impact is real. It is alive. It is transformative. Now imagine how many other people still sleep in charged environments without realizing that the peace they seek can already begin within their own home. Sharing this video is like extending a thread of light from one house to another. It is making this frequency of well-being, cleanliness, and awareness spread. It is contributing to a silent but profound movement of healing homes and those who live in them. May this transformation that began with you find an echo in other lives, in other routines, in other spaces, because each peaceful home ignites a new vibration in the world, and you are part of this chain. Once, after weeks immersed in work, routine, and constant stimuli, a woman arrived home feeling that her body was present, but her mind could no longer find a place to rest. Everything seemed out of place, even with the furniture in the same place as always. The sofa was there, the bed was ready, the objects in their proper place, but something inside that home no longer welcomed them as before. It was as if the house had stopped talking to her. The air was heavier, the silence more unsettling, and sleep was increasingly difficult to achieve. She then decided to slow down. For the first time in a long time, he turned off all the white lights, lit a candle, let the scent of lavender fill the room, put on some soft music. She sat on the living room floor and took a deep breath, her eyes closed, just listening to her own body. He performed a simple ritual, but one full of intention. And in that instant, something inside her began to reorganize itself. The weather responded, yes, but what changed most was the way she felt there. That night was different. Sleep came more lightly. She woke up with a different energy, with a different outlook on her home and on herself. This story resonates because it repeats itself in different ways every day. Every person who lives in a home feels the influence of the space where they are. Every energy left in the environment, every thoughtless gesture, every tiredness that sets in after an intense day, all of this accumulates. And there comes a time when the body cries out for rest, but the environment does not support this rest. This ritual that you experience today is not a distant ritual, full of rules or dogmas. It is, above all, a reconnection with the essential. It is about breathing with intention, touching objects with presence, feeling the ground beneath your feet, as if you were truly returning home. Because taking care of your home is taking care of yourself. This process is practical. It is sensorial. It is profound. You have already seen how the softest light transforms your gaze, how the right sound changes the vibration of the air, how conscious breathing organizes your thoughts, how the scent of lavender makes room for rest. All of this seems simple, and it is. But within this simplicity lies the greatest power, that of reconnecting with your peace. And this peace begins with small choices, conscious gestures, moments that you set aside to care for a space that goes beyond the walls. Your home is the mirror of your energy, and by caring for it, you send a clear message to the universe. I choose to live with presence. Think about how many nights you've spent on autopilot, going to bed and waking up without really getting any rest. Your mind is agitated, your dreams are confusing, your body is tired even after hours in bed. This isn't a rule of modern life. It's a reflection of the disconnected environment. But now, with this ritual you've practiced, this pattern has begun to change. The energy in your home has been aligned with a new intention, and this intention begins to shape the way you feel, think, and act the next day. Your sleep becomes deeper, your awakening more lucid, your routine more centered, because everything starts at the base, and the base is your space. This ritual is also a way of reconnecting with your history. Every object in your home carries a memory. Every corner holds fragments of your days. When you purify the environment, you are also clearing these memories. You are saying, I choose to renew. You are making room for the new, for the light, for what really matters. And in this purification movement, the energy that circulates begins to reflect the person you are becoming, and no longer just what is stuck in the past. It is a gesture of energetic, emotional, and even spiritual self-care. Remember that a home doesn't take care of itself. It needs to be activated, heard, felt. When you light a candle, when you spread a scent, when you breathe calmly in the middle of the room, you are telling your home, I am here. And in this recognition, it begins to care for you in return, to protect you from excesses, to welcome you on difficult days, to recharge you on silent nights. This bond is real, and it grows stronger every time you choose to act with intention. The ritual becomes a practice, and the practice becomes part of who you are. This transformation has already begun. It does not depend on beliefs or ready-made formulas. It manifests itself in the simple act of choosing to look at your space carefully, of realizing that your home has a soul, a frequency, a rhythm. And when you align this rhythm with yours, everything begins to flow more harmoniously. Your energy finds a home, your mind finds rest, your body finds relief, and you find yourself again within a space that now vibrates in tune with your purpose. Each step you have taken so far has been a gesture of reconnection with your own essence. The house has ceased to be just a physical place and has become an extension of your peace, your consciousness, your healing. The ritual, then, reveals itself as a tool for energetic autonomy, a way of saying, I decide what remains in my space. I decide the vibration I want to sustain. I decide how I want to feel when I cross the door of my home. And this decision has power. And now that the house vibrates differently, that the body has already responded to this new frequency, that the heart feels the space as a true shelter, it is time to take the last step of this encounter, a closing that solidifies everything that was created, that seals this experience with depth and presence. Because what comes next is not the end, but the beginning of a new way of inhabiting your space and yourself. Now that you have had this experience, You have felt the energy in your home reorganize itself, and your body respond with more calm, more presence, more lightness. It is time to affirm everything that has been cultivated here, because every gesture you have made today has real power. Your home has already received this new frequency, and, at this moment, you have become part of something bigger, a community that chooses to live with intention, awareness, and well-being. And when you share your experience, you expand this transformation to other homes. So, write here in the comments a word that sums up what you are feeling right now. This word can be lightness, or any other that represents this new vibration that you have awakened within your home and within yourself. Like this video as a way of showing gratitude for the connection that has already been created. This simple gesture allows this energy to reach more people who may be experiencing the silent chaos of a busy house without even realizing it. And by liking it, you help spread balance, clarity, and harmony. I subscribe to the channel because here, each video is an invitation to transform your space into a place of regeneration, beauty, and real presence. Being part of this community is to continue a movement that begins in the environment and reflects throughout your life. It's not about following rules. It's about consciously creating a home that sustains your well-being, your energy, and your essence. And the transformation continues. The next previous video, content that will further deepen this experience, with practical tips, renewed energy, and real solutions to create the most important environment in your home, the space where you rest, dream, and recharge. Thank you so much for being here, for trusting this moment, and for allowing your home to be this place of reconnection. Your presence is valuable and makes all the difference. This channel exists for you and by you. And never forget, your home is an extension of your balance. Take care of it, and it will take care of you.